Hello everyone, Shirley here, and welcome to the Nerub-ar Palace on Mythic. Today we're going to be looking at the Bloodbound Horror, the second boss, on a standard single-target Slayer build for arms, actually. I know Fury is all the rage right now, but this is a great arms fight. So right away, jumping in here on the pull, we're going to be using our Bloodlust, dividing our raid into two groups, and I'm going to send all of my cooldowns on the rip on the boss, even though I'm going down in the first ad set. And you might be tempted to hold on to your Bladestorm, for example, for this, but we have everybody's cooldowns running plus Bloodlust. This first set of ads is just going to melt. And ideally, I'm not going to be holding on to my cooldowns throughout most of the fight, actually, because Sweeping Strikes and Execute alone is going to carry a lot of the weight on these ad sets. I do have Cleave is the only talent option that I'm swapping into. But we're just going to rotate around the room here, getting to this last Harbinger and making sure that it goes down before we get popped back up to the top realm, so to speak, avoiding the two giant lasers that rotate around the room here. As we spread around the room, our tanks are marked, so this green marker on the left here is the tank that I'm assigned with, so we're just going to follow him around for the most part, staying on the opposite side of the boss is the other half of our raid team, spreading out for these circles that go out periodically, as well as the tentacles that he casts randomly on these players. These, if the entire raid group was together, you would have to watch your feet a hell of a lot more for these tentacles, but when the group is split in half, they're really not a big deal. You can just kind of sidestep them and shimmy around to avoid them. We get our second big set of cooldowns back up here, and I'm instantly just going to be throwing these on the boss. It's not worth saving these, spreading out for this next Blood Curdle cast, and I also get a Tentacles, and the beam is coming, so I got to jump across here and make room for everybody, and we're just stutter-stepping here to buy as much space as we can. Anytime I get the blood, or the tentacle spawns, I like to go to max melee range, and that leaves a channel open in the melee section up by the boss for any extra melee. They have plenty of room in front and behind for the range to, still hit the boss on both ends. So we're going to jump out for the big AoE there and, make sure not to get hit by that. You can throw up a reflect for each of those just to help mitigate that fall-off damage. Spreading out once again for these Blood Curdles, and this is our second set of ads, so we're going to make sure that we're in this cone here. And the hitbox on the boss is really big. So I saved my Thunderous Roar and my Bladestorm there just a few seconds, so if it's going to be within 10 seconds of you going down in this realm, it might be worth saving, just to get that extra AoE on these ads, especially if you're having trouble on the last ad. If you get a split set and there's a far one here like there is for us on this side, so I'm just bopping down this Watcher as he goes across, waiting for these Blood Curdles to explode before we move over here and get down this last Harbinger. We can throw up a Cleave just to get some extra damage on these Blood Horrors that spawn. And the boss is in Execute phase now, so we're just full, tunneling. We get our CDs back here to go into our Execute rotation, just cranking as much damage as we can. We are having to move around the room again because of the way the ads are spawning for our other group set. But I wanted to say a little bit ago, when you're in the ad phase, the boss's hitbox is so big that as long as you're within the middle of these platforms, you can still cleave the boss. So if you hit up Sweeping Strikes and are executing the boss, if he's in Execute phase, you can still hit the ads with those executes, so that's a lot of funnel damage for arms in particular. As well as, if you're in the middle, you can Thunderous Roar, clip all the ads and the boss, as well as Bladestorm. Its hitbox is big enough that you can AoE everything that way as well. So we're just rotating around the room here, try not to get hit by the tentacles or overlapping any Blood Curdles once again, continuing to execute away. And we get our next Bladestorm that comes back up here. I'm holding it for just a second because this gore splatter's going off. We're going to jump out, throw up a reflect, and just try to stack up just to make our healing a little bit easier on our healers here. So this is the last ad set. We made the call to go ahead and just tunnel the boss down. We're all going to get in this cone and CC and interrupt if we have to, but the boss is so low that it's not going to matter. And down goes the Bloodbound Horror on Mythic. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Sorry for the delay of content. I've been pretty sick the last couple of weeks, so hopefully, going forward into the new tier, I will have much more stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.